dressed as a brainless male lead's younger brother. Fortunately, there is a super villainous system, and at the beginning, they had an indescribable love affair with the male lead's wife for a night. Then, the domineering female CEO, the childlike beauty, and the tall young lady were all accepted by him according to the order. As for the brainless male lead, let him crawl. Chapter 1. He keeps calling you sister.In.Law. You are listening at novel full.audio. What are you thinking? Come in quickly. Sister-in-law, then I'll come in. Put a little bit inside. Yes, that's right there. The charming beauty looked at the placement of the flower pot with joy in her heart. Lin Li stood aside and wiped the sweat off his forehead. To this day, he cannot believe the fact that he has traveled through time. This world is an urban novel that he has read. And he became the follower of the villain in the book, not to mention the low status. The key is that there hasn't been a good ending yet. He only survived a few chapters and was ultimately punched to death by the male lead. I thought as the son of Qi Yun, I could activate the system, but after waiting for a few days, Tong Zi still hasn't received his account, and Lin Li couldn't help feeling a little disheartened without the system. He had already predetermined the outcome: death cannot be photographed. But as soon as Lin Li thought about the death of his nest, he couldn't bear it. This is an urban novel. The author is insane. There are dozens of beautiful women inside, each with a graceful demeanor. Thinking of these beautiful women being taken into the harem by the loser male lead, Lin Li's teeth were bitten to pieces. Thank you for your hard work, Lin Li. Sister-in-law, you're welcome. Lin Li quickly replied. The charming beauty in front of her is the woman of Qin Wanxian, the head of the Qin family, named Su Lan. Su Lan, in her 30s, took good care of herself as the head mother of the Qin family. Her skin is fair, her face is fragile, and she looks no different from a young girl in her 20s. But as a married woman, she looks much more alluring than a little girl. A ripe smell emanates from all over my body. Lin Li looked hot and felt even more itchy in his heart. His cheap big brother is already in his 70s, so weak that he has to rely on crutches when walking, let alone nightlife. Lin Li, as a younger brother, sometimes really wants to help his sister.In.Law, but when I think about my current identity, suddenly feeling powerless. Ding, the big villain system is activating. At this moment, a mechanical sound suddenly rang out in Lin Li's mind. Lin Li's whole body shook. Tongzi, you have finally arrived. Lin Li was filled with joy and quickly checked the system he had obtained. Ding, system binding successful. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the beginner gift pack, novice gift package. Hurry up and open it for me. Lin Li was impatient. Congratulations to the host for opening the beginner's gift pack and obtaining one wash marrow pill. Proficient in the skill 8 Extremes Fist. 8 Extremes Fist. Lin Li was overjoyed. Although this is an urban novel, Pig's Foot has the power to approach it. In the original plot, Lin Li got punched by the protagonist and ended up in the ICU. The power of one punch directly took Lin Li's life. It's really terrifying, but now that Lin Li has achieved full proficiency in the 8 Extremes Fist, he is confident that he can resist the protagonist hard. After all, this is the 8 Extremes Fist. Wen has Tai Chi to pacify the world, and Wu has the 8 Extremes to stabilize the universe. This sentence is enough to describe the power of the 8 Extremes Fist. Lin Li's heart was burning, and he examined the effect of the wash marrow pill. Wash marrow pill. Wash the meridians throughout the body, taking it can transform the host. Lin Li swallowed it without saying a word. What's the foul smell? Su Lan shrugged her nose and looked at Lin Li. It's flowing out. At the next moment, Su Lan pointed at Lin Li and was shocked. Ah! Lin Li was taken aback for a moment, then looked at himself. The foul smell was emanating from him, and at this moment, there was an unknown black liquid flowing out of his skin. I'll go wash it first. Lin Li, who had reacted, quickly entered the shower. Turning on the shower, Lin Li shed all his hair 3 times and started washing. Meanwhile, Lin Li thoroughly understood the role of the system in his mind. As long as Lin Li hunts the son of the plane, the opportunity of cutting off the beard plane, women, and wealth can all receive system rewards. If the system detects that Lin Li has antagonistic behavior, Lin Li can also obtain antagonistic values. The villain value can be exchanged for various rewards in the system mall. Lin Li took a look at the system mall, which covered everything and had everything. Lin Li's eyes were hot, but now he doesn't have any villain value and can't even afford to exchange it. However, Lin Li is not worried. As the top horse under the villain's command, he has plenty of opportunities to engage in villainous behavior. After washing for over 20 minutes, Lin Li finally washed himself clean. At the same time, he felt a change in himself. My lower abdomen is scorching hot, and I feel an endless amount of strength throughout my body. Did I grow taller? Did I also grow longer? Through the mirror in the shower, Lin Li realized that not only had his inner self changed, but also his outer self had changed. I'm afraid the protagonist with this beauty will be extremely jealous of me. Even if he goes to the public beta to pee, he dare not stand next to me. Lin Li's evil charms smiled and wiped away the water droplets on his body. Just as he was about to put on his clothes, he made a mistake. The clothes are all stained with unknown black liquid, so they must not be able to be worn anymore, but it's not possible without wearing it. He can't just run out without a trace. Sister-in-law. Lin Li had no choice but to trouble Su Lan. What are you doing? Su Lan's voice came from below the building. Can you help me get a piece of clothing? My clothes are dirty and I can't wear them anymore. You wait. Upon hearing Su Lan's response, Lin Li breathed a sigh of relief. Sister-in-law is really empathetic. Apart from being a perfect cannon frame, she has no airs at all. Ding, detected antagonistic behavior in the host, obtained 1000 antagonistic values. Lin Li was taken aback for a moment, then understood. Is asking his sister.In.Law to bring him clothes also considered villainous behavior? Lin Li was overjoyed. Sorry big brother, villains have no morals. Thinking of his sister.In.Law Su Lan's voluptuous figure in his heart, Lin Li felt a surge of majesty. You open the door and I'll pass it in for you. Su Lan's words rang out from outside the door. Okay. Lin Li quickly responded, opened the door a crack, and could see Su Lan stretching out her hand with clothes on her back. I didn't expect my sister.In.Law to be quite reserved. Lin Li thought to himself and took the opportunity to grab the clothes and touched Su Lanru's boneless little hand a few times. What are you doing? Feeling the warmth in her hands, Su Lan's body involuntarily trembled. Her ears turned red, so she quickly let go and ran downstairs. Just as he got dressed and went downstairs, Lin Li heard Su Lan scream in pain. What's wrong, sister.In.Law? Lin Li asked. Su Lan supported her waist with one hand and her face was in pain. I wanted to move the flower pot, but my waist twisted. Just let me handle this. Why did you do it yourself? Lin Li approached Su Lan and asked, how about it, can we leave? No, it hurts so much that it's dying. Su Lan tried to take a step, then looked painful. Let me hold you upstairs and rest for a while. This isn't good. Su Lan looked puzzled. There's nothing bad about it. Lin Li didn't talk nonsense and picked up Su Lan directly. Ah! Su Lan exclaimed in surprise and was lifted up by Princess Lin Li. Looking up at Lin Li's face unconsciously. I just realized that Lin Li seems to be quite handsome. Enjoying the hormonal scent emanating from Lin Li's body, Su Lan couldn't help but blush. She hasn't felt such a warm arm bend in years. It's just that I don't usually want men, but at this moment, I feel the strong arms of men again. Her mind is filled with thoughts that are not suitable for children. Pooh, Su Lan, you're really shameless. He keeps calling you sister.In.Law. Chapter 2. The body is honest. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Su Lan's face turned red with embarrassment, and she felt dizzy all over. Reason has always told her not to have bad thoughts, but her body is very honest. With his face leaning against Lin Li's chest, he didn't even want to move away. Sister-in-law, how are you feeling now? Are you feeling better? Carrying Su Lan to her room, Lin Li expressed concern. Su Lan's mind was now completely confused, and it wasn't until she heard Lin Li's words that she realized she had been placed on the bed. She couldn't help but feel empty in her heart and quickly said, "It's better now, but it still hurts a bit. How about I press it for you?" Lin Li asked tentatively. "Do you still understand massage?" Su Lan was somewhat surprised. "To be honest, I used to work in heaven and earth, and the female technicians there had seen my technical skills and praised me as a genius." Lin Li smiled and spoke serious nonsense. "Who wouldn't know this thing? I can't press it well, but I'm sure it won't break either. As for what the female technician said, that's also true, but it's not certain if it's another technology. However, Lin Li guarantees that his skills will definitely be stronger than before. Because he was just modified by the marrow washing pill. Why don't you give me a try?" Su Lan was a little moved, and after saying these words, her whole face turned even redder. "Okay, sister.In.Law, please lie down." Su Lan let out a sigh and then lay down on the bed. Lin Li placed his hand on Su Lan's waist. At just the moment of touch, Su Lan's body suddenly collapsed and stiffened. "I haven't touched a man in about 10 years. A wonderful feeling filled Su Lan's whole body, nervous, shy, various emotions intertwined in her heart, and she dared not even move. "Sister-in-law, don't be so nervous, take it easy." Lin Li smiled. From his perspective, you can see that Su Lan's ears are flushed. Even the Snow-White Swan's neck was covered in a layer of red mist. "Sister-in-law, I'm going to start pressing. If it hurts, you can squeak." Su Lan is as gentle as the sound of mosquitoes. Lin Li smirked and reached his hand directly into Su Lan's clothes, touching her soft waist. "Ah!" Su Lan felt as if she had been electrocuted, and her whole body trembled for a moment. "You. How did you get in here?" Su Lan complained. "If you reach in, the effect will be better," Lin Li whispered, leaning against Su Lan's ear. "Then. Don't move your hands around." Su Lan buried her head on the bed. Lin Li smiled and rubbed Su Lan's waist, which had no excess fat, with both hands. "What's up, sister.In.Law? My technique is pretty good, isn't it?" Lin Li asked after rubbing it twice. Su Lan's voice is crisp and crisp. The whole person enjoys it very much. "Sister-in-law, why do you still have essential oils?" Lin Li glanced and noticed the rose essential oil on the bedside. "The leftovers from the previous hydrotherapy have never been useful," Su Lan replied. "How about I give you an essential oil massage?" "Ah. Do you still know how to do this? Look at what you're saying. Didn't I just say that I've done things in heaven and earth before?" Oh. Su Lan's face was flushed. Su Lan has done essential oil massage before and knows the process. "Wearing underwear all over my body. I have to be ashamed to death." Su Lan shook her head and said, "Why don't we just forget about it? I feel like this is pretty good." Su Lan is quite conservative usually. These maintenance tasks are done by female technicians for her. Thinking of a man pressing her, she trembled all over just thinking about it. The brain is already excited and uncontrollable, but more of it is still shame. "Sister-in-law, why are you so polite to me? Don't have any burden in your heart. There are many technicians standing in front of you now. What's the big deal? There aren't many male technicians. Besides, I have confidence in pressing your waist properly. Sister-in-law, you don't want any problems with your waist, do you?" Lin Li said seriously. "Well. You're also right." Su Lan couldn't resist Lin Li's persuasion and finally agreed. Lying on the bed wearing only underwear, Su Lan dared not even open her eyes. She is really too shy. The feeling of shame made her feel hot all over. Feeling a pair of big hands swimming back and forth on my back. She feels light and ethereal all over. The front also needs to be painted. Forget it. Ah. Before Su Lan could refuse, Lin Li rudely flipped Su Lan over. Su Lan watched as Lin Li, who was getting closer to her, unconsciously swallowed her saliva. Lin Li, what are you doing? She could feel the warmth in Lin Li's eyes. The feeling in my heart is even more indescribable. There is tension, excitement, anticipation, and shyness. Instinctive reason made her hold on to the bottom line. She shook her head and said, Lin Li, you can't do this. I'm you. Sob. Lin Li stopped talking nonsense and directly blocked Su Lan's mouth. Ding, detected host's antagonistic behavior, antagonistic value plus 2000. Su Lan's eyes are so big. Eyes full of shock, unbelievable. How could he do this? Su Lan reacted and pushed Lin Li away directly. How could you do this? I'm your sister.In. Law. Su Lan spoke coldly. I'm sorry, sister.In. Law. You're so beautiful, I couldn't resist. Lin Li hugged Su Lan tightly. Sister-in-law, I really want to help you. As big brother's younger brother, I have a responsibility to help you solve your problems. What are you talking about? Okay, then I won't say anything, sister.In. Law, I'm coming in. Detected significant antagonistic behavior from the host, antagonistic value plus 10,000. 2 hours later. Su Lan put on her clothes to cover the bruises on her body. Although I was infatuated earlier, I became as holy as Buddha afterwards. She's sober now. Come on, you're just a jerk, beast, how could you treat me like this? Su Lan shouted hoarsely. Lin Li smiled and lit a cigarette. Sister-in-law, you really don't recognize people when you put on clothes. Think about your behavior just now. Su Lan's face turned red. She didn't know how many times she had experienced heaven during the recent war. She just felt like the first half of her life was in vain. How could a man be so strong? You're just a beast. Su Lan didn't know what to say, so she had to curse again. Okay, I'm a beast. Lin Li was too lazy to defend himself and hugged Su Lan directly. Don't touch me. Su Lan twisted her body, but her strength was quite small. Lin Li smiled. Oh, woman, Lin Li. After a while of warming up with Su Lan, he had just finished cleaning the battlefield when suddenly a voice rang downstairs. Chapter 3. Is this generation still long? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Li and Su Lan walked downstairs. A young man sat listlessly on the sofa. Qin Lang. The only son of Qin Wanxian, who is loved by countless. He is also the first villain in this book. Like the standard mindless and humorous writing routine, Qin Lang is a licking dog, crazily pursuing the female lead, and then being forced to face the protagonist all the way. Finally, I lost my life. Su Lan frowned and scolded. What are you shouting for? No big or small. From now on, call me Uncle Lin. Ah. Qin Lang is a bit dumbfounded. Why haven't you seen the trees all morning? This generation is still long. The key is, this is the little brother under my father's hands. Do you use such respect? Qin Lang muttered, he's not much older than me either. Su Lan frowned and said, no matter how big it is, you can only call it Uncle Lin in the future. Otherwise, you will have no pocket money in the future. As soon as Qin Lang heard that he didn't call himself Uncle Lin and didn't even have any pocket money, he quickly compromised. With a crying face, he shouted to Lin Li, Uncle Lin. Okay. Lin Li nodded with a smile. What's the matter with Uncle Lin? Lin Li asked. When Qin Lang mentioned this, he was instantly infuriated. Just now, he bought a bouquet of flowers and was ready to confess his love to his goddess, Condensed Snow. However, before he arrived at the Condensed Snow office, he was stopped by a small security guard at the entrance of the group. As the only child of Qin Wanxian, who has a wealth of billions, Qin Lang naturally didn't take a small security guard seriously. But who knew, that little security guard was lawless. Not only humiliated him at the entrance of the Condensation Snow Company, but also kicked him. Although Qin Lang is a stubborn child, He is not a fool either, knowing that he couldn't beat the little security guard and didn't have any younger brothers around him. He returned home and wanted Lin Li to take action to teach the little security guard a lesson. Uncle Lin, you must help me out of this bad temper. Qin Lang looked angry. Thinking of that little security guard makes my teeth itch with hatred. That little security guard is also very brave, dare to hit my son. Upon hearing that her son had been beaten, Su Lan also became angry. Where's the condensation snow? You were beaten by their company's security guard, and she didn't say anything. Su Lanji asked. She. Qin Lang shrank his neck. Did she face that little security guard? Lin Li spoke up, and Qin Lang nodded. This condensation snow really doesn't take our Qin family seriously. Su Lan was furious beyond control. Mom, don't blame Xiaoxue. Qin Lang quickly spoke up, it's all that little security guard who hit me. Just teach that little security guard a lesson and don't implicate Xiaoxue. Listening to Qin Lang's words, Lin Li's tongue twitched. Undoubtedly the first licking dog in this book, he is still maintaining his goddess. Even if it's a boiling lamb, I'm afraid I'll have to give Qin Lang a kowtow. Uncle Lin, come with me now. Today, I'm going to break one of the security guard's legs. Qin Lang was so angry that he wanted to pull Lin Li out. Have you decided to break that kid's leg? Lin Li asked. Why bother thinking about it? Qin Lang was taken aback. Lin Li spoke up and said, it's easy to break that kid's leg, but have you ever thought about the consequences? That security guard is from the Condensation Snow Company. If something really happens, Condensation Snow will definitely be responsible. Besides, if I knew it was you who moved your hand, I might never talk to you again in the future. Upon hearing Lin Li's words, Qin Lang finally understood. The desire for revenge in my heart suddenly disappeared. He doesn't want Condensation to hate him for a lifetime because of a small security guard. Qin Lang spoke with a sigh, Uncle Lin, why is it so difficult to chase after women? I buy flowers and give things to Ling Shui every day, but now she doesn't even see me. Why are you saying this? Silly child, because you're a licking dog, Lin Li thought to himself, but didn't say, actually, sometimes you should think about whether it's your own fault. You see, you sent her flowers in bags. But the problem is that she doesn't lack these things. Qin Lang thought for a moment and seemed to understand a bit. Uncle Lin, you're right. She's not short of money. So when I give her these things, she won't have a good impression of me. So how can I make her feel good about me? Qin Lang scratched his head and sat on the sofa pondering. After a moment, he patted his head and said, I have it. If I come out with a hero to save the beauty, I will definitely capture the heart of Condensed Snow. She once said that he likes men who can give her a sense of security. Thinking of his own way, Qin Lang was extremely excited. It's not that women are too difficult to pursue, but rather that he chose the wrong way. The question is, do you have the opportunity for heroes to save the beauty? Xiaolang, it's not that Uncle Lin looks down on you. Even if you have this opportunity, you can beat the criminals. Lin Li spoke up. Qin Lang smiled slightly, not paying any attention to Lin Li's words. Indeed, his body has been weak since childhood. Not to mention criminals, even ordinary people cannot be defeated. However, he didn't really plan on being a hero to save America. I can hire someone to act. Ah. This. Lin Li is a bit dumbfounded. Are you really a little clever ghost, damn it. Uncle Lin, I've already decided to let you be the big villain. Lin Li, what? Qin Lang didn't give Lin Li a chance to refute. Of course, even if Lin Li refutes, Qin Lang will still do so. After all, Lin Li is just a little brother under his father's command. However, Lin Li had no intention of refuting. After all, kidnapping the female lead can also be considered a villainous behavior, which can earn you villainous points. Lin Li and Qin Lang left the door together. Uncle Lin, that's the Condensation Snow. You'll just tie her up in a moment, and then wait for me, the heavenly god, to descend to Earth in the room prepared beforehand. The underground garage of the condensed snow company. Qin Lang pointed to a woman not far away and explained. Lin Li looked in the direction of Qin Lang's fingers. A small suit with a beautiful upper body and a black buttock skirt underneath a pair of slender and straight thighs wrapped around silk stockings with letters on his feet were a pair of valuable Valentino attack speed shoes, undoubtedly the first female lead of this book. Just the back is perfect and impeccable. Uncle Lin, start taking action. With Qin Lang's command, Lin Li got off the car directly with a urea bag. Here, the condensation snow was about to open the car door when suddenly I felt a darkness in front of me before she could even shout for help. Ning Shui felt her buttocks being pushed up. This caliber. Is it a gun? The condensed snow trembled all over, afraid to move or open its mouth to shout for help. Chapter 8. Tiger falls in Pingyang and is bullied by dogs. You are listening at novel.Audio. However, Lin Li still has some sympathy for Qin Lang. This guy has been living under the shadow of his father since he was young, and has always hoped to become a towering man like his father. Unfortunately, although Qin Lang had this idea, he did not have the ability to do so, and the ultimate result was that he always had a difference in yin and yang, causing things to develop in a negative direction. The ultimate result can be imagined. Qin Lang suffered a lot for this. Even at this point today, he is still full of confidence in his future, hoping that one day he can become an excellent man like a father. And this attack on condensation snow can also be considered one of the means. Lin Li listened to Qin Lang chatting beside him, but he just smiled and didn't really take these things to heart. Soon, the next room had already started the conversation. Lin Li and Qin Lang were quietly watching beside them. Even Lin Li didn't expect that there was a camera arranged by Qin Lang in advance in the private room. Both sound and visuals are synchronized. He couldn't help but admire this. When it comes to playing with these crooked methods, no one can match Qin Lang. This guy really inherited some of his father's excellent genes. Miss Lang, you've been waiting for so long. After waiting with his assistant for more than 10 minutes, their negotiating partner finally arrived late. A man wearing gold-rimmed glasses who looks elegant. After the man walked in, he first looked at Ning Shui and her assistant, and then sat down in the nearby seat with a smile. You also know that there have been a lot of things happening in the company recently, so it's inevitable that we need to spend more time and effort to handle them properly before proceeding. I hope Miss Lang doesn't take it to heart. Ning Shui smiled silently, but her inner emotions were not revealed. Mr. Jean, I'm inviting you this time to talk about our future contract renewal. The group where Condensed Snow is located is a company that develops new energy projects, especially under the leadership of Condensed Snow. The company launched a research on new energy batteries a long time ago. At present, it is a critical moment. According to Lin Li's memory, the research on this new energy battery is already very mature, but in fact, it is just one step away from home. The problem lies in the fact that Lengjia invested a large amount of funds in the research of this new energy battery in the early stage. So much so that the condensation of snow inside the cold house has been questioned by many people. If this new energy battery project can really be successfully developed, it can naturally bring her a turnaround. But the problem is that everything done in this energy research project before the final result is a waste. Now, from top to bottom, I can see condensation snow continuously throwing money inside, but I haven't seen any profit. If they continue to tinker like this, even if their cold family is one of the 4 major families in Jiangcheng, they are likely to be emptied. So the condensation snow can only come outside, hoping to stabilize investment, and also hoping that these investment companies can increase investment. In this way, once the new energy battery project is developed, they will definitely be able to make a big profit. Jin Renfeng looked at the condensation snow. In fact, he had already known the purpose of inviting himself here for this time, but he had not mentioned it before. For him, everything is under his own control. They have been paying close attention to the new energy battery project for the study of condensed snow, and they also know that this research has reached its most critical moment, and it cannot be separated from financial support. If the attitude towards condensation snow within Lingjia is supportive, the ability to condense snow can definitely solve this problem, and investors like them won't worry about anything at all. Miss Leng. I just sat down, there's no need for us to rush into the main topic now. Jin Renfeng smiled. Leng Shui was taken aback for a moment. She was proud of herself and was usually polite when others spoke to her. But at the moment, Jin Renfeng's appearance really left her feeling a bit overwhelmed. However, she also understands that now is the critical moment for her project research. Many times, one can only choose to swallow their pride. After seeing this scene, the assistant next to him immediately stood up and poured a glass of wine, handing it to Jin Renfeng. Mr. Jin is truly sorry, as you know, our young ladies rarely come out for socializing on weekdays. Please come here this time, it's really sincere enough. Lin Li on the other side also sighed in his heart when he saw this scene. It's really a case of being bullied by dogs when the tiger falls to the ground. If the members of the Ling family could unite as one, it wouldn't cause Ning Shui to come here to negotiate with this Jin Renfeng. In this way, there will be no opportunity for Yi Outyan to intervene. Unfortunately, everything was too late. Jin Renfeng came here today without any intention of negotiating fairly with Ling Shui. His goal is very simple, nothing more than to condense the shares in Shui's hands. At the same time, I also want to take this opportunity to humiliate Ning Shui. The famous miss of the cold family in Jiangqing, and the proud CEO who is as cold as an iceberg. On weekdays, I refuse people thousands of miles away and look at them through my nostrils. What would happen if such a towering beauty could crawl at her feet? Qin Lang, who was sitting next to Lin Li, also widened his eyes at this moment. He didn't expect that what he was missing now was money. Uncle Lin, do you think it's okay for me to invest 1 million? 1 million, this is already Qin Lang's pocket money for 3 months. However, Lin Li just sneered in his heart. 1 million. This project can start from tens of millions, but 1 million is useless. It all depends on how you talk to this Miss Lang in the future. If Qin Lang really has such ideas, Lin Li doesn't mind helping. After all, this 1 million may turn into 1 billion after the project research is successful. However, in this process, what they need to do is to patiently wait. During the conversation between Qin Lang and Lin Li, Jin Renfeng looked at a glass of wine handed over to his assistant. Looking at the equally beautiful woman in front of him, he reached out his hand, but instead of receiving the drink, he held Qin Yu's small hand in his hand. Oh my, I really didn't expect Miss Leng to be a stunning woman, and her assistants around her are also not inferior to others. Little sister, I don't know your name. How old are you this year? Rao is that Qin Yu often travels in and out of the business world, but in the face of such rogue behavior, he is also somewhat at a loss for a moment. But before she could say anything, she saw the condensation snow standing up next to her, grabbing the wine glass and splashing it on Jin Renfeng's face. Chapter 4. Beat me. Do you have this ability? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Upon waking up again, Ning Shui found herself in a room. Woo-woo. She was tied with a rope, full of artistry, even my mouth was blocked, and I couldn't make any calls. She can only struggle desperately. Lin Li heard the sound and walked into the room. As soon as I entered the door, I saw the struggling condensation snow. The condensation snow is now in a terrible state. A few strands of green silk were haphazardly draped on the forehead. The stockings are also torn as she struggled. Her perfect figure undoubtedly appeared on the floor, making Lin Li's eyes feast. A pair of straight calves constantly flapping, and the perfect leg lines are very attractive. Shout. I'll make you scream. Lin Li put on a Batman mask and slapped his frozen snowy buttocks hard. A sense of shame emerged from the condensation snow's heart. That's my own. But from childhood to adulthood, no other man has touched me except my own father. If she shouts, it's okay. The key is that her mouth is blocked. She didn't even shout. She suspected that the man in front of her was having a lust for herself. Calm down, condensation snow. Now you must calm down. Ning Shui told herself to stay calm. In her heart she stared at Lin Li with her beautiful eyes fixed on her. Lin Li felt a bit embarrassed when she was seen, but the key is that she hasn't really called out yet. Lin Li couldn't help but want to hit. I'll let you go, but can you stop yelling? Lin Li asked. Condensed snow nods. Lin Li tore off the tape from her mouth. Huh. Condensed snow panting heavily, but now she hasn't forgotten her situation, so she spoke up and asked, why did you kidnap me? Do you want money? Or something else? As long as you let me go, I promise you everything. Promise me everything. Lin Li smiled lightly and leaned his face closer to the frozen snow. What I want is you. I cried to death. So far, Lin Li has not forgotten his identity. He just wants to play the role of a cowardly villain and give Qin Lang a chance to save his beauty as a hero. Sure enough. Upon hearing the man wearing a Batman mask in front of her wanting to be herself, Ning Shui's heart sank violently. As the most beautiful woman in Jiangcheng, she knows her beauty. It's very tempting for men from childhood to adulthood. The licking dogs around her have never been lacking. However, Lin Li, who wanted to force himself to become the king, was the first. You can't do this. The condensed snow curled up and retreated back, and just as she moved her body, a pair of big hands directly clasped her ankle. Lin Li pulled hard, and the two of them were close at hand. With their eyes facing each other, Lin Li looked at the sexy little mouth of the woman in front of him and swallowed saliva. Condensed snow listened sincerely. My heart feels like a little deer bumping around. She seems to know what's going to happen next. She couldn't help but swallow her saliva. The next moment, Lin Li approached. In an instant, the condensed snow felt like it was about to suffocate. She opened a pair of big eyes, dull as a string puppet. Her brain was completely blank. I can't believe it at all. My first kiss, which I kept for over 20 years, is gone today. Ding, detected antagonistic behavior in the host, obtained antagonistic value of 1000. The sound of the system echoed in Lin Li's mind, and he finally let go of his mouth. You. How could you do this? You're just a beast. Condensed snow greedily breathed in the air, her small face turning red. Curse me. You curse again. Woo-woo. Before the condensation snow could open its mouth, Lin Li immediately blocked it. Ding, detected antagonistic behavior in the host, obtained antagonistic value of 1000. You. Compared to the first time, the condensation snow felt an unprecedented experience. For the second time, even a bit obsessed after the two parted ways, she surprisingly felt a sense of disappointment in her heart. What are you thinking about, condensation snow? Are you still looking forward to it in your heart? Ning Shui felt flustered in her heart. She excels in both skits and learning, and is often referred to as someone else's child by teachers and parents. She has lived for more than 20 years and hasn't even had a boyfriend. Of course, she never lacks suitors. Those men flatter her like a dog all day long, and condensation snow is not worth it. From the bottom of my heart, it's better to be more direct and domineering. Thinking of reading those domineering and romantic novels about getting married first and then falling in love, Ling Shui began to have some expectations in her heart. You beast. Ning Shui cursed and then eagerly looked at Lin Li. Yo, dare to curse. Lin Li didn't expect this woman to be so ignorant of the current situation, and directly confronted her. However, the prompt sound of the system did not sound this time. It seems that this wool cannot be harvested all the time. Lin Li was somewhat disappointed and lost interest, and directly released the condensation snow. You bastard, not a human, you bastard. This time it was only a few short seconds, and there was not even enough time to get intoxicated. The condensation snow felt a bit disinterested. I have exhausted the most vicious words in my mind and cursed Lin Li, but who knew that the man in front of him didn't take any further action. You won't do anything bad to me next, will you? Ning Shui bit her lips and asked. Lin Li was taken aback for a moment. However, thinking of his current identity, he gave a sinister smile and said, hee hee. Guess what? Upon hearing the reply, Ning Shue's body involuntarily trembled. You don't have to guess what will happen next. Although I don't want to hand over my virginity, which I have kept for over 20 years, in this situation there's no other way. This is my first time. After saying these words, Ning Shue closed her eyes and lay down on the bed. Lin Li was a bit dumbfounded, and the development of things was a bit beyond his expectations. What's going on with this woman? Not only not struggling, but also looking like she's picking and picking. And why hasn't Qin Lang, the licking dog, come yet? Lin Li is a bit restless sitting. What are you waiting for? Seeing Lin Li motionless for a long time, Ning Shue opened her eyes and asked. Lin Li felt a bit awkward and didn't know what to say. Bang. Just then, the door was suddenly kicked open. I saw a young man wearing a security uniform storming in with anger. Xiao Xue, are you okay? You don't have to be afraid. This kidnapper and Qin Lang are in the same group, and when they come together, they just want to play a heroic drama to save the beauty for you. Yi Outyan blurted out the truth of the matter. The room fell silent for a moment. Condensed Snow looked at Lin Li, her eyes filled with disbelief. He is actually Qin Lang's person. Is all of this fake? How could it be? He even kissed himself. Ning Shue didn't want to believe that things were like this in her heart. She would rather believe that Lin Li was a true kidnapper who was full of cowardice. I have always been fond of my beauty and want to hee-hee with myself. Lin Li really didn't expect that the luck of the son of the plane was so terrifying, and such a sudden addition to the plot could make him catch up. Without any accidents, after this bloody scene, I will definitely trust this little security guard even more after the condensation of snow. As for Qin Lang, I'm afraid he can only make Ning Shue feel disgusted. Where's Qin Lang? Lin Li suddenly thought of Qin Lang. Although he doesn't like Qin Lang, Lin Li still doesn't want him to have an accident because of his feelings for his mother. Uncle Lin, it's this little security guard who messed with me again. Whatever you say today, you have to help me vent your anger and beat him hard. Just as he was thinking about it, Qin Lang ran upstairs with a blue nose and swollen face. Beat me. Do you have this ability? Before Lin Li could speak, Yi Outyan spoke disdainfully. Speaking, he also exercised his muscles and bones. Then he punched Lin Li. Chapter 7. Yuchun Tower. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Damn it, if I were to get this dragon subduing 18 palm experience card, wouldn't it be invincible in the world? Living Xiao Feng. Lin Li thought to himself and couldn't help but envy. Unfortunately, he still doesn't know how long it will take him to reach this level. As for real estate and medicinal materials, these two projects have a lot of content. However, as far as Lin Li is concerned, most of the things inside are temporarily not needed. As for the real estate industry, although it is possible to directly transfer ownership to some industries in Lin Li, the amount of antagonistic value required is also quite huge. In the end, Lin Li decided to try another feature of the system. Egg twisting machine. It is divided into 4 levels: bronze, silver, gold, and diamond. And the treasures that come out of the egg twisting machine can be directly purchased at a 30% discount in the future. After looking at it, it is most suitable to draw silver twisted eggs now. 10 consecutive 10,000 villains worth one shot. Lin Li now happens to have a villain value of 25,000. You can start with a bronze egg twisting mat and then use a Swolha silver egg twisting machine. After setting the target, directly start the draw. Ding, you have successfully drawn the bronze egg twister 10 times and obtained a stainless steel iron shed, high-quality men's socks. Damn it, boutique fashion trash. Lousy has 5,000 villain points, is that all? Lin Li almost raised his middle finger. However, after all, it was just a last-minute move and there was no rush, so I immediately turned the tables on the silver. Ding, you have successfully extracted the silver egg twisting machine for 10 times, and obtained a 5-star hotel room card X1, a box of white oak instant noodles, and a box of Laotan pickled Chinese cabbage noodles. Well, it's basically another pile of garbage, but much better than bronze. Lin Li doesn't believe in evil, it's another wave. Damn it, it's shipped out. Pearl-like treasure, purple light shining through the sky. Ding, you have successfully drawn the silver egg twister 10 times, obtaining dragon and tiger pill X1, perspective card X1, invisibility card X1, Liangyi knife technique. They are all things that one can use at the current stage. Longhu pill. A very ancient formula that is said to be used. Even if you are an 80-year-old master, you can achieve 16 times a night. It also has the effect of balancing yin and yang, which can enhance your physical fitness. Liangyi knife technique, Volume 1. An ancient sword technique that has been lost, with immense power, but due to certain reasons, it has been lost. After putting these things away, Lin Li's mood immediately improved a lot. Try the effect of Longhu pill. Take a pill and take it down. Just as Su Lan was still lost in thought, she suddenly noticed that Lin Li's body had become extremely hot. Immediately after, a burst of hot air spurted in my ear. Sister-in-law, shall we do it again? Before Su Lan could resist, Lin Li had already turned over and mounted his horse. One night lingering. The next day, Lin Li walked out of the room with a lively expression. Originally, every time at this time, Su Lan had already woken up and started cooking and tidying up household chores. But now it's different, still lying in bed. Lin Li clenched his fist. The ancients never deceived me. This dragon tiger pill is indeed fierce, and he can clearly feel that his strength has slightly improved. Although not much, the value lies in accumulation. Without a few steps, one cannot reach 1,000 miles. After waiting for himself to win more beauties, Lin Li couldn't imagine it anymore. After bidding farewell to Su Lan, Lin Li arrived at the Yuchun Tower. Yuchun Tower, the most famous restaurant in Jiangcheng, has even become famous in the provincial capital, demonstrating its uniqueness. And Yuchun Tower is also a restaurant that many big shots like to come here to discuss cooperation. At this point, Lin Li had already changed his outfit, and with Qin Lang's support, he smoothly entered the Yuchun Tower. In no time, a young woman approached and said, "Mr. Lin, please come with me. Your private room is upstairs." Although the Qin family is not one of the 4 major families in Jiangcheng. In fact, the power of the Qin family is no less than that of the 4 major families in Jiangcheng, but their abilities are mostly beyond recognition. So for so long, there has been very little writing about the Qin family. But that doesn't mean the Qin family is easy to deal with. At least no one in Jiangcheng dares to say that they don't care about the Qin family at all. And Qin Lang's methods are also very powerful. He successfully helped Lin Li locate the private room next to the condensation snow. Everything has been arranged properly, and what Lin Li needs to do is to unconsciously pour medicine into the hallway while the waiter is delivering the dishes. This thing was also secretly brought by Qin Lang, and it's useless for men to eat. If a woman eats it, the effect will be powerful. Lin Li has nothing to refuse about this, all he needs to do is be careful of Yi Yaotian. As long as you make sure not to be targeted by this guy, there will be no problem with the success of this plan. On the other side, the condensed snow arrived early at the Yuchun Tower. This time when she went out, she only brought her assistant and 2 bodyguards, but did not let Yi Yaotian come with her. For some reason, since seeing Yi Yaotian being beaten up by someone yesterday, she has lost much confidence in this man. Sure enough, a man's mouth is a deceitful ghost. What you say is beautiful, dazzling, unparalleled in the world. What is the result? I was knocked down to the ground by someone 3 times, and I didn't even know how I fainted. Moreover, today I was negotiating with a man. I don't know which string in Yi Yaotian's brain is broken, even if it's condensation snow. When he saw himself with a man, his face collapsed. Please, you're just one of my bodyguards, not my boyfriend. Why are there so many scenes? Every time I think about the condensation of snow here, I feel uncomfortable all over. I didn't bring Yi Outyin with me this time, but of course, there were also considerations in this regard. Miss, it has been checked and there are no issues. The assistant walked up and whispered, it's just that there's someone in the neighboring room too. Leng Shui smiled and said, it's okay. Don't worry too much about these things. At this point, Lin Li has prepared the perspective card and invisibility card. After each use, there is a 10-minute effect. However, after undergoing a transformation, Lin Li's 5 senses were different from ordinary people. He had long known that the condensation snow had not brought Yi Outyin. This is really good news. In no time, Qin Lang also followed to the private room. Uncle Lin, are you confident? Looking at Qin Lang's serious demeanor, Lin Li smiled and said, don't worry, it's almost guaranteed. Qin Lang nodded, his eyes full of anticipation. After today, Ning Shui will be my person, and then the Cold family can also become the treasure of our Qin family. My father will definitely impress me. Watching Qin Lang's expression of obsession, Lin Li expressed doubt about it. If it were really that simple, you wouldn't have received the boxed lunch so quickly. Chapter 5. The script is not right. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Outyin never cared about Lin Li at all. What kind of smart person can be someone who can mix up with idiots like Qin Lang? So this punch comes quickly and doesn't have much technical content. But soon, something unexpected happened to him, and Lin Li didn't dodge. At this moment, Yi Outyin realized that the situation was not right, but it was too late. Lin Li unexpectedly welcomed him directly. The first move was to open the gun and directly hit Yi Outyan's fist. At the same time, his elbows collided directly with the unprepared chest of Yi Outyin. Where has Yi Outyin seen such a formation? At that moment, I felt like I had been knocked off by a train. Bang! After falling to the ground, stars appeared in my eyes and I couldn't believe that I had been knocked off the ground. This is the 8 extremes fist. Extremely hard fists, you advance, I advance, you retreat, I still advance. Just as Yi Outyin fell and stood up, Lin Li rushed forward again, his figure like the wind, and in the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of him. Turn around and elbow. This move hit Yi Outyan's chin hard like a hook punch. Blood flowed from the corner of Yi Outyan's mouth, and a front tooth flew out directly by the hammer. Damn it, I'll kill you. After taking a few steps back in a row, Yi Outyin regained his composure and stopped holding his hand. At this moment, Lin Li walked forward with a bow and saw his moves. After only 10 rounds, Yi Outyin was once again knocked out. However, this time his luck was not as good as before, he collided directly with a pillar and fainted. After finishing all of this, Lin Li stood up and patted the corner of his clothes. And Qin Lang next to him looked very silly. Is this still my dad's little brother? This is too fierce, isn't it? Although he was physically weak and had no means, she could still see Lin Li's move just now. That is definitely not a means that ordinary people can have. What kind of person is Yi Outyin? It is said that on the day of the job application, the bodyguards who had just been recruited by Ning Shui were all picked up in just 10 minutes. Is this the kind of ruthless person who ended the battle in front of Uncle Lin without persisting for 10 minutes? Stinky security guard, I see how arrogant you are. I have to waste one of your legs today. Qin Lang picked up a baseball bat and walked up. Lin Li said, all right, if you really depose him, this matter will be troublesome. Let's go. Lin Li said angrily, not even glancing at the condensation snow. At this time, the condensation snow had not yet regained consciousness. She also knew about Yi Outyan's abilities, thinking that he could save herself. I didn't expect to be knocked unconscious by someone else's combo. Qin Lang stood in place and said, Uncle Lin. Just left like this. Otherwise, what else do you want to do? Wait for Miss Lang to treat you to dinner, Lin Li asked with a resentful tone. Qin Lang finally understood the situation and awkwardly glanced at the condensed snow before running away without looking back. Just as Lin Li was about to leave with him, Ning Shui suddenly stopped him. Even the condensation snow didn't figure out why they were doing this. This man almost took everything from himself just now. However, when he saw Lin Li effortlessly suppressing Yaotian, he did feel that this man was very handsome. Especially the overbearing feeling made her unable to stop. More importantly, there is a very evil aura on Lin Li's body, which naturally makes the condensation snow want to approach. I have always been surrounded by various pursuers and flower protectors. But none of these people add up to a forest, and this man also has a stunning feeling when he looks at himself. But the condensation snow could feel that the other party seemed not prepared to have too intimate contact with them. What does this mean? Is it true that I am so unattractive to this guy? Since that's the case, why did he kiss himself again before? Miss Lang, do you have anything to do? Lin Li looked at the frozen snow standing in place for half a day without being able to regain consciousness and asked with a smile. The latter only then realized and looked at him with evasive eyes. Are you Qin Lang's person? Lin Li shrugged his shoulders without hesitation. Is there anything else wrong with this? What kind of person is Qin Lang? You can see it in your eyes, and there's definitely no good future with him, said Ning Shui. If you're willing, you can come to me and I can make you my head of security. Yes, Yi Outyan is just a close bodyguard. But for someone like Lin Li, perhaps only the Minister of Security can attract him. At this moment, Yi Outyan, who had just fainted, gradually woke up. Upon hearing that the condensation snow was about to make Lin Li the head of the security department, he immediately became unhappy. Miss, absolutely not. This guy is like Qin Lang, that bastard. Ning Shui looked angrily at Yi Outyan and said, shut up. What's up with you here? Yi Outyan closed his mouth and looked fiercely at Lin Li. However, Lin Li just smiled and said, Miss Lang, I'm sorry about today's situation. Young Master Qin just likes you, that's all. As for me, I have no intention of leaving the Qin family yet. Goodbye. After speaking, he left directly without any lingering attachment. Even Yi Outyan is a bit dumbfounded. Is this kid giving up like this? Just the moment this thought flashed, it started to scream with this heart-wrenching pain. Lin Li, whether intentionally or unintentionally, stepped on Yi Outyan's hand. Ling Shui looked at Lin Li's departing figure, his expression gradually becoming more complex. She didn't expect this man to really reject her. In all these years, Lin Li was the first. As soon as I thought of this, the competitive nature of the condensation snow also came up. Humph, you don't want to, do you? Miss, I want to see what skills you have. So far, I have never been unsuccessful in achieving anything I want to do. Yi Outyan exclaimed, Miss, this guy. Before she could finish speaking, Ning Shui slapped Yi Outyan in the face and said, Bastard, you can't even do such a simple thing as protect me well. This month's bonus is gone. After speaking, he left directly, leaving only Yi Outyan in a chaotic wind. Can't he protect it? Of course not. He knew that everything was arranged by Qin Lang, and coincidentally, he also wanted to take this opportunity to show off in front of Ning Shui. The original plan was to become a saint in front of oneself, save the beauty with heroes, and capture the heart of the frozen snow. But what Yi Outyan didn't expect was. This towering combat effectiveness is truly amazing. This directly led to Yi Outyan's plans being all messed up, and he even lost one person in front of the condensation snow. It's so embarrassing. Chapter 11. Meeting again, Miss Lang. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I didn't expect that Yi Outyan, a fool, would leave the two of them at a critical moment. What else did they say to tie Lin Li up and hand him over to the investigation bureau? What international joke are you joking about? Didn't you see that it's difficult for both of us to move and play together now? If you really have this ability, why waste time here? At this moment, Condensation Snow's eyes widened. Lin Li, who had just fallen, actually stood up again. Chen Yu, on the other hand, panicked and stood in front of Ning Shui, looking at Lin Li like a formidable enemy. No one expected Lin Li to stand up at the critical moment, as if this guy wasn't injured just now. Lin Li smiled and wiped away the blood from the corners of his mouth. Why, is it strange? Why are you staring at me like this? He walked over and crouched down in front of the Condensation Snow, looking at Chen Yu and saying, "Don't worry, I'm not a bad person. But the problem now is, I only have one antidote for the poison in you. What do you think I should do?" He slightly raised the corner of his mouth, revealing a sinister smile and said, "Miss Lang, we're meeting again. Why don't we leave it to you to choose this time? Lin Li's words are not wrong, this medicine only has one antidote. Originally intended for use by Chen Yu." At this moment, Ning Shui also guessed something and said coldly, "Don't you care about Qin Lang? If Yi Outyan catches that guy, he will die a miserable death. Why don't you hurry up and save him?" Lin Li nodded. "Of course I know, otherwise I wouldn't have said that just now." The Condensation Snow was a bit unexpected. "I thought Lin Li was very concerned about Qin Lang's life and death, but now it doesn't seem like that. This guy should have other conspiracies." The reason why the Condensation Snow has been able to achieve its current reputation in Jiangqing for such a long time is also because of its own abilities and intelligence. Many things can be guessed by just looking at the interests and relationships. But on Lin Li's side, he didn't just suffer from exhaustion once. This guy seems to always play without following the routine. Are you Qin Lang's bodyguard? Not only do you have no intention of helping Qin Lang, but you are actually deceiving others. This is really interesting. At this moment, Lin Li pinched Chen Yu's chin and looked at him with a smile. "I have to say, Jin Renfeng, this fool, really has some vision. If you can't take Miss Lang, your assistant is indeed a beautiful woman." At this moment, Chen Yu was ready to devote herself, biting her red lips lightly with her white teeth. "Let my miss go, I'll follow you. Give that medicine to my young lady." When she spoke, even her breathing became unstable. Ding, detected antagonistic behavior from the host, obtained 500 antagonistic values. Lin Li was not in a hurry, just playing with it so carefully. Finally, Ling Shui couldn't help but say, "Give her the antidote, I'll leave with you. I don't know who you are, but no matter what your purpose is, as a young lady from a cold family, I am definitely more valuable than an assistant, right?" Lin Li was very satisfied and without saying a word, he squeezed open Chen Yu's mouth and stuffed the pill in. The pill melts upon entry. Chen Yu fainted before she could resist. Lin Li glanced at the time and said, "Well, it's almost done. Someone should be coming over soon. Come with me, Miss Lang." After he finished speaking, he immediately picked up the condensed snow from the ground and the two of them left. At this moment, Ning Shui was still restraining her last bit of rationality, and her feelings for the man in front of her were quite complicated. Even a fool knows that this is not poison. What Shura powder? It is clear that Lin Li used it to deceive that fool Yi Outyan, but fortunately this fool actually believed it. Compared to Qin Lang, you are actually more skilled in calculation. I really don't understand why people like you are willing to become Qin Lang's subordinates. Do you have any leverage in their hands? Lin Li did not answer this question and had not forgotten to take Jin Renfeng's room card with him before leaving. Quickly, he arrived at the hotel with condensed snow and opened the door with his room card. As soon as he entered, he heard the sound of bathing inside, indicating that Jin Renfeng had been preparing for a long time. Lin Li was not in a hurry either. She just sat here and waited quietly, while Ning Shui's face was also ugly. She bit her red lips tightly and said, "What do you want to do?" "Don't worry, Miss Lang. I won't give you to this idiot Jin Renfeng yet. However, I still need Qin Lang to explain this matter today, don't you think so? Lin Li lowered his body, now very close to the condensation snow. He could even hear the rapid heartbeat of the frozen snow, and at this moment, no one could possibly remain calm, just like the frozen snow. It's over. What kind of devil is this man? What exactly does he want to do? Countless thoughts flashed through the frozen snow's mind, and Lin Li's style of doing things was simply imaginative. Just now, she was even prepared to be taken away from her innocence by this man. But who would have thought that Lin Li would send herself to such a place? The medicine had already begun to take effect, and she didn't know how long she could control herself. At this moment, Jin Renfeng also heard the commotion outside. Hey, little beauty, you're finally here. It seems that you have really learned a lot by following the female demon head in the past few years. Before he could finish speaking, his eyes darkened and he was knocked unconscious by Lin Li's fist. Then they were all tied up, not only blocking their mouths, but also blindfolded. Afterwards, he threw Jin Renfeng into the room with a room card gifted by the system, and at the same time, he didn't forget to call for a passionate service. After finishing all of this, Lin Li looked at the condensation snow with ill intentions. Miss Lang, it's all right now. There are only the two of us left in this room. At that time, even if you speak up, no one will believe that I bullied you. After all, this room is owned by Jin Renfeng. The condensation snow suddenly realized that this guy had already planned this day. What he just found for Jin Renfeng is definitely not a good person. With Jin Renfeng's usual habit of saving face, he will definitely not speak out. So as long as this matter is not disclosed, even if others investigate, it is impossible to investigate Lin Li's head. You're so cunning. Lin Li smiled and said, otherwise. If I'm not a bit cunning, how can I be a villain? Step forward and pour the condensed snow directly onto the bed. Ding, detected antagonistic behavior in the host, obtained 1000 antagonistic values. Chapter 6. New posts for brushing rewards. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qin Lang felt very uncomfortable. He originally thought that today's script was a heroic drama to save the beauty. But what I didn't expect was, the hero didn't deserve it, but instead became a bear. Even flaunting oneself as a villain in front of one's beloved. What should we do now? Playing with a bamboo basket is like playing in vain, sitting in a forest like a winner in life. At this moment, Qin Lang couldn't say how panicked he was. All his original plans had been ruined. Even if we want to salvage it now, it's too late. After returning home, the boy anxiously jumped up and down. Obviously, no one would be able to calm down about this matter, even Qin Lang. Just with his pig brain, I'm afraid he won't be able to come up with any good ideas for a while. So this kid found Lin Li again. Uncle Lin, only you can help me this time. What do you think I should do next? Lin Li looked at Qin Lang, unsure of what he should say. This kid, perhaps his brain melon seeds are not very effective. Even though we have already reached this stage of the field today, we are still thinking of cramming from ourselves. But given Lin Li's current situation, it is definitely impossible to tell him anyway. These things are easy to say, but not easy to do. Even I didn't know how to say it for a moment. You have completely offended this Miss Lang this time. As soon as these words were spoken, Qin Lang also had a worried expression on his face. How could he not know? It's just that the matter has come to an end, and that's all I can do. Otherwise, do you think it's useful for me to go up and apologize directly? No, with her personality, not only will she not forgive me, but she may also kill me on the spot. I don't want to embarrass myself anymore. The more he thinks, the more he becomes entangled. Even Lin Li was speechless on the side. Where are so many things going on? Actually, just like Qin Lang is now, he has basically been completely eliminated. Condensed Snow is a very proud person. How could he easily forgive Qin Lang for such a shameful incident this time? He was already lucky that he didn't eat him alive, and now he still thinks there is room for maneuver. Isn't this just a joke? Even Lin Li feels shameless. However, on the surface, Lin Li still looks like nothing has happened. Don't panic, isn't it just a miss from the cold family? I believe with your abilities, you can easily subdue her. Lin Li said it was lightweight, but Qin Lang had no confidence in it at all. Originally, Qin Lang hoped to hear some useful suggestions from Lin Li, but in the end, there was nothing. Uncle Lin, why don't you hurry up with your own affairs? Anyway, I won't get any useful advice from you either. He let out a disappointed sigh. However, Lin Li frowned and said, speaking of which, there is really one thing that I can help with. I received a message earlier that Miss Leng from the family will go to the Yuchun building tomorrow evening to discuss cooperation with others. You will. Before Lin Li could finish speaking, he was interrupted directly by Qin Lang. I can go to the place in advance and apply medicine to the condensation snow. When the medicine works on her, I will rush in to save her. This way, all our previous conflicts will be resolved. Lin Li stared blankly at Qin Lang, unsure of what he should say for a moment. No wonder you died first. From the inside out, it really didn't surprise me at all. Lin Li muttered softly as he looked at the guy in front of him, unsure of how to describe his feelings for a moment. Just like before, Qin Lang never gave Lin Li any reason to refuse. He himself thought it was a seamless and good plan. And Lin Li was too lazy to say much. The matter is like this, but who is going to administer this medicine? Qin Lang's eyes widened and he looked at Lin Li. Uncle Lin, this kind of thing is none other than you. Lin Li stood still and said, Ah. Me. However, for Lin Li, this is not a bad thing. After all, he has awakened the antagonistic system now, and all he wants is to do bad things. Qin Lang saw Lin Li's unwillingness and whispered, Uncle Lin, after the matter is completed, I'll give you 500,000 yuan. How about that? That's enough fun, isn't it? But the premise is that you must ensure that you are not discovered. Qin Lang doesn't usually win over people below him, so the best relationship is only with Lin Li. The only one who can be trusted now is him. Lin Li glanced at Qin Lang but didn't think much before agreeing. Don't worry, leave this matter to me and I will definitely be able to handle it for you. Qin Lang also patted Lin Li's shoulder heavily. To be honest, if these things are entrusted to others, I really feel a bit uneasy. Lin Li just sneered, don't worry. You don't have anyone to help you with these things, but it's not a good thing to reveal them openly. After some thought, Lin Li was too lazy to argue too much about this issue. So, everything settled down. After seeing off Qin Lang, Lin Li was finally able to take care of Su Lan again. Su Lan has been in drought for a long time and meets a sweet rain. Since being with Lin Li, it has become even more uncontrollable. Lin Li locked the door and went upstairs. As soon as the bedroom door opened, a delicate figure entered her arms and said, Lin Lang. I miss you so much. The voice is tingling and sweet to the heart. Hee, sister.In.Law, then I'm coming. Ding, detected antagonistic behavior in the host, obtained 10,000 antagonistic values. The system's rewards are usually not repeated, so this time, Lin Li has added some new tricks. I just didn't expect that Lan Jie would be very cooperative. After a series of ups and downs, Su Lan lay in the arms of Lin Li, with Rui drawing circles on her chest. Why didn't you realize before that this kid is such a man? Especially today, with half effort and half effort, I have truly experienced a new kind of joy. Lin Lang, you're so amazing, you're about to make me die. Lin Li looked proud and said, Sister-in-law, I know a lot. There's more time in the future, let's take it slow. Su Lan lay in her arms with a sweet expression on her face, but a hint of darkness flashed in her eyes. Lin Li, on the other hand, lay in bed, facing the panels of the system mall. This system mall encompasses a wide variety of products beyond imagination. At Lin Li's current level, only 4 options can be seen. Ability, props, real estate, and medicinal materials. Ability naturally refers to the ability to use antagonistic values to obtain some special techniques, such as the 8 Extremes Fist. However, there are also high and low levels in this, and what Lin Li can see is only some basic boxing techniques, not much. Here are various functional props, and even the Dragon Subduing 18 Palm experience card, which can last for 10 minutes, but the price is also astonishing, requiring 1 million villain points. Chapter 10. Shura Powder. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. When Qin Lang looked at Chen Yu and Ning Shui, he couldn't control himself anymore. But at this moment, it's still important to pretend to be calm. Miss Lang, you can rest assured that as long as we have a consensus on our side, we can soon start our cooperation. With the strength of our Qin family, we can definitely make a big profit by cooperating with your new energy technology. Chen Yu also breathed a sigh of relief at this moment. Although the Qin family does not show their beauty, they also have a considerable amount of industry under their control. And the most terrifying thing is their working capital, the amount is very astonishing. If the Qin family really signs the next cooperation agreement with them, of course it can help Condensed Snow get through this urgent situation. Even many subsequent problems can be easily solved. However, from the current perspective, this issue is still not much easier than they previously thought. Qin Lang spoke confidently, and the more he spoke, the more proud he became. At the beginning, the condensation snow on this side was still able to hold on, but over time, the efficacy increased and people became drowsy. At this moment, Qin Lang said, "Miss Lang, are you feeling a bit uncomfortable?" "It's okay, me. I just feel a little headache." "I'll just take a break and get better," said Ning Shui, shaking her head. Qin Lang immediately said, "Coincidentally, I opened a room nearby. Miss Lang, why don't you go rest first? How about we continue discussing the remaining matters when you recover?" Ning Shui glanced at Chen Yu beside her. At this moment, even Chen Yu's condition was not very good, and it was precisely because of this that Ning Shui now had the idea of taking a break. However, Yi Outyan has not come yet, and he is still a bit nervous now. "Miss, why don't you go rest first?" Chen Yu whispered beside her. At this moment, the door was forcefully opened by someone, and Yi Outyan rushed in with a flushed face. "Qin Lang, you audacious guy, I didn't expect you to do such a thing even at this point." As soon as Yi Outyan entered, he just glanced at the condensation snow and immediately realized that something was not quite right. "I didn't say much at the moment," the target was directly aimed at Qin Lang. Qin Lang also didn't expect Yi Outyan to come here, and his face changed slightly. Meanwhile, Lin Li stood up slowly beside him. "It's almost time to finish. It looks like Qin Lang will definitely be severely beaten by Yi Outyan today." When Lin Li thought of this, he also found it funny. Just as Yi Outyan was preparing to take action against Qin Lang, Lin Li suddenly appeared at a critical moment. "Yi Outyan, what do you want to do? The Qin family and the Ling family are discussing business. Do you think the Qin family is empty when you break in like this?" Lin Li stood in front of Qin Lang and whispered to him, "Run quickly, I'll hold on to this guy." When Qin Lang saw Yi Outyan, he almost peed. How dare he continue to stay here at this time? Without even thinking, I turned around and ran. On the other hand, although Yi Outyan wanted to catch up, he was stopped by Lin Li. Although Lin Li wore a mask last time, Yi Outyan still recognized it at a glance. "Is it you?" Yi Outyan always grits his teeth when speaking. Lin Li gave a proud smile. "Huh, it seems you haven't forgotten yet, it's me. Yi Outyan, right. I heard others say you look very impressive, but last time we fought, I saw that your level was just that." Yi Outyan couldn't bear this kind of anger, so he stopped talking nonsense now. Kid, today I'll let you know why the flowers are so red. Yi Outyen has made a special move today. He knows that Qin Lang must be following Lin Li, so he has already made arrangements. As soon as they met, the atmosphere immediately became anxious. Chen Yu helped the condensation snow to hide on the side, while the several bodyguards outside the door were lying on the ground before they could do anything. Miss, what should we do now? Chen Yu asked cautiously, not expecting such a thing to happen. What's even more frightening is that their physical condition seems to be getting worse and worse now. Ning Shui shook her head and looked at Lin Li's back, not knowing what she was thinking. Her eyes became blurred. Over here. Before coming here, Yi Outyen took Dali San, which is one of Yi Outyen's exclusive secret recipes that can enhance his strength in a short period of time. Especially for him, who is a master of internal skills, he plays a very significant role. So with the help of vigorous dispersal, Lin Li has now been completely suppressed. The last time I was just caught by you by chance, but today. Humph, today is your deadline. Yi Outyen sneered, now that he has taken the initiative, is it still easy to solve Lin Li's problem? Lin Li is too lazy to say anything more on his end. Can't beat it. Are you joking? Even Yi Outyen, who has eaten a big powder, is not a match for Lin Li now. But his purpose of coming here this time is not to compete with Yi Outyen. Yi Outyen, even if you can defeat me, what would happen? To be honest, Miss Lang and her assistant have both been poisoned by Qin Lang. If there is no antidote, even the heavenly King Laozi cannot save it. Shuluo-san, do you know? Originally, Yi Outyen, who was still looking proud, was stunned when he heard these two words. I'm going. Shuluo-san. Qin Lang, are you a beast? Didn't you still love condensation snow before? This is impossible, just relying on Qin Lang, that idiot. How could there be such a thing as Shuluo-san? The Shura powder, one of the rare poisons in the world, is extremely rare and even Yi Outyen's medical skills cannot handle it. He is becoming more and more panicked as he thinks about it, especially as the trees here are still able to hold on. In a fit of rage, Yi Outyen began to act without any hesitation. Finally, after more than 10 minutes of fighting, the two only saw Yi Outyen's powerful and heavy fist directly hitting Lin Li's chest. The latter suddenly thrust out a mouthful of blood and fainted on the ground, making it difficult to wake up. Yi Outyen glanced at the condensation snow and thought that he had lost someone in front of her before. This time, he could finally regain face. Miss Lang, tie up this guy and have the investigator lock them up when the time comes. As for Qin Lang's side, just leave it to me. After speaking, he left without looking back. How could he have noticed that the current state of the condensation snow was not right? He was all focused on trying to save face. Qin Lang, even if you run to the ends of the earth this time, don't try to escape from my palm. When Ning Shui wanted to say something more, Yi Outyen had already left. This idiot. Ning Shui cursed inwardly in her heart.